Hello, welcome to the Robotics for Kids tutorial. My name is Emerike Adeze. I'm a STEM education facilitator and I'll be your guide through this video.
Hello, welcome to this session. In our last class, we learned how to use the pen extension to create shapes, to draw shapes in Scratch programming. And I remember that in that class, I gave you a task at the end of the class that you should find how to add or change the color of your drawings actually. So I'll load the program from that class and answer that question. Load from your computer so that it's Scratch draw. Yes, here it is. Open. Okay, here is the code we wrote in the last class to draw a square shape. And to answer the question of changing up colors, there are two ways you can do that. So you could use this line of code that says set pen color to, and with this line of code you get to set any color of your choice within this color range. You can select how dark or that's the shade or how light you want it to be. So you drag this and enter this here. So I could change purple to red. I'll use here and select here. I could change to yellow, use here or here. I could change to pink, as the case may be. You just switch it up and then find whatever pleases you. So let me reduce this to 2 and show you the example. So I'll enter 4. I want size 50. Enter. So you could see that in the last class we had a blue drawing, but now we have pink. So this is one way for you to change your color. Then there is another one that is actually fun. You could use set pen color by 50. This could be set pen color to 50. Okay, this one, what it does is that it gives you a specific color just like this one, but this one changes the color as it draws. Okay, let me just do this. And you keep this here. So what this instruction would run as would be for the cat to draw one shape, turn 5 degrees, and before it draws the second shape, it should change the shade of the color of that pen by 10. That means it could give you a lighter shade of the same color or an entirely different color in your color spectrum. So let's try it. Let me go with 100 size and see. Okay, let me increase the number to 10 so that it will be more noticeable. 100 size. Enter. Oh, it was 100 I did, not 10. Anyway, let me just stop the program. So you see what I mean now? It gave us variety of colors, changing it at every point by 10. So that way you get to have at least 10 shades in a row before it starts again. So this one actually makes it look more beautiful. And that's the way for you to switch up your colors. You could use any of this code, this to make that work. Okay, so I remember I mentioned in the last class that today we'll be learning how to draw other shapes, how to write the code to accept a particular number that we would want to set it to, and then produce a shape of that size. So what we'll be doing is that we're not going to write a new code. We're just going to remove a few that would not be suitable for what we want to do, and then add the others to get our way around things. So the first thing we'll do is to change this. Okay, there's no need removing it entirely. We could come here, my block, and edit. So that way we'll change the name from draw square to draw shape. So you see the name is actually broad now. We're not just drawing a square, we're going to be able to draw a triangle, a square, and all other things, other polygons with about 5, 6, 7, 8, as much as 10, 11 sides. So I'll click on OK, and you see the name has changed to draw shape, and it still retains the same command. So the next thing I would like to emphasize on is that if you look at here, we gave in the beginning of the code, we gave the sprite a command that it should always go to a particular section, to a particular position, and turn towards a particular direction and start from there. Now if let me change this to 5. If we want to draw a shape with about 11 sides, and we are giving the command that the sprite must be in the middle and should turn to angle 90, it's going to make it difficult for the sprite to draw that shape in a complete round motion and then stop at the exact point where it started. So for us not to get a shape that is not complete, in the sense that it will draw 11 sides, but then the point where the shape starts and the point where the shape stops would not meet. That is just what we'll try to avoid with this line of code and this line of code. So for us to get around to drawing shapes with any number of our choice, first we'll change the entry here. Before we give the sprite the size, whether we want it at 50, whether I want a 50 by 50 shape or 100 shape or 70. Now what we're going to, the value we are going to be, the program will request for and we will impute would be the sides, the number of sides we want. So the question would be enter sides, or how many sides do you want? So when this question comes up, you get an opportunity to enter a value of how many sides you want your shape to take. So when you enter that value, it is stored here in answer. So now instead of the formal answer which would dictate the size, this answer now would dictate the sides of the shape, how many sides the shape would have. So now to get how many sides the shape will have, remember before we had this value 4 here because we knew that a square had 4 sides. So now the number of sides you enter will be replaced. Let me duplicate this and read it again. Will be replaced, this 4 will be replaced by the number of sides you enter in that given opportunity. And then we're going to do a little bit of mathematics, because a square takes 90 degrees 4 times and you get a squared shape. That does not mean that if I enter a value, an octagon, let's say 8 sides, that it will take 90 degrees 8 times and I'll get an octagon. No. So to get the accurate angle where the sprite will turn to give me a complete octagon, I would have to do that math. So it's just basically to divide. A circle is 360 degrees, we can fit virtually any shape inside of a circle. So we're going to use the total degree of a shape, that's 360, and divide it by how many sides we want that shape to have. Remember, this question says how many sides do you want? You enter a value, then that value you entered here will be saved here. So now 360 divided by, oh sorry, the operator using is not 360, is not division, this is addition, this is division. So 360 divided by that number of sides you want, that will give you the accurate number of angle, the accurate degree of angle where your sprite will turn to get the correct number of sides you've entered and give you the desired shape. So we'll fit this here. Now instead of here to give you the size, we'll fit it here to give you the sides so as to get the appropriate shape, and the fixed side will be 100. So you can now change this manually. If you want, you could change it to 50 and the rest of it. So we'll take out this point in direction 90 to make our code flexible, to allow the sprites dictate where to start and how to go instead of starting from a particular position, because we're making it specific for it to be there. So now when I receive the message start, remember there is a broadcast here that says erase at the beginning of the code and then broadcast the message. So when the sprite gets the message, the pen is up, it will ask you for how many sides of the shape you want. It puts the pen down and then it runs this program and gives you that. So now let's try it and see how it works. So I click on this, I get the opportunity. It says how many sides do you want, and I'll enter 5 and click enter. So did you see that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's beautiful. Okay, let's try again. Let me start from 3 actually. Triangle, enter 3. Now click enter. You see, I got a triangle. Enter 4. I got a square. Enter 5. Enter 6. So we got 6. I enter 7. You see that? I enter 8. And 9. Okay, so we could continue and then get the exact number of sides we want. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can go ahead and count. So now another thing I'd like you to understand is that the shape actually depends on you. The number of sides you want, the size you want it in, the number of degrees you want it to turn to, that will give you a particular arrangement. Okay, let's go with the previous one where we have 72. We have 72 drawings at 5 degrees. So let's go. Now enter 5. And we have a beautiful labyrinth. So this is what you get because you set the degree at 5. Now what if we changed this to 10 and reduced 72 to 37? Let's see what will happen. We'll get a more spaced out shape shapes put together. So I'll click on this and I'll still go with size 5. Okay, let's go with 6. Enter. Then you see this is not as busy as the first one because the degree here was increased. So the angles here, they are actually wider than when it was at 5 degrees. So you could switch this up to 30 and let's go with, I don't know, 10. Let's check to see if 10 will work. Enter the value 7. And this is 10 of it. The 10 isn't actually the complete round, but I think it worked. We could change this to 90 and this to, this is 7. And this time around, let's try a triangle. 3. 2. Did you see? You could get your desired shape, your desired arrangement in whatever color you want it to be in. Remember that to increase the size, you just have to come over here, increase the size. To increase the spacing, the arrangement, you just change the degrees. And if you change the degrees, you would need to change how many times you want it to repeat, because if the degree increases, then you don't need to repeat it many times for it to take the form you want. So let's go with 120, and here we'll need about, I think, 3 or 4. Let's change this value to 150 and see what we get. Let's go with 6 sides. So you see, I got 3 of that. Okay, let me reduce. 150 is too much for the entire space. So let me go with a triangle and see. Yes, I think this fits better. 150 shape of a triangle fits better than the 6-sided shape. So this will go back to 100. And you can keep on trying for as many times as you want. The organization totally depends on you. I could have the 72 back and have this at 5 degrees and have, okay, here at 100 and here, let's try a 5. Okay, let's start with it 2 now. Here, enter. This is what you get for it 2. Okay, let's try a 3. Yeah. This is what you get for a 3. We've seen a 4 before, but let's try it again. And you can actually stop halfway. You can change the number to make it lesser if you don't want the complete thing. Let's go to 5. I could stop this right here. So let's try a 6. Look at that. We'll go for a 7. And it goes on and on. So guys, we would further explore in another video how to create a more complex shape, like a rectangle where all sides are not equal, because you need to enter the value of the sizes of the sides. So you have to enter the length and the width and the rest of it. We could do that for the circle as well and other shapes. So I hope you enjoyed this session. Continue to practice, and I'll see you next time.